Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm a wee bit late in getting these out. I apologise for that. I'd just like to thank everybody for liking, sharing and subscribing to the channel. And I'd like to thank you if you had a private reading with me. This is a general reading for Pisces for the month of 16. So I'll just get straight into your reading. Give it a wee shuffle. I've been shuffling off camera. So we've got you, what's crossing the base of the reading, the past, the present, the future, you, other people in the environment, your hopes, and your outcome card. Just make sure you can see them all. Okay, so in your situation, you have got the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles say to me that for some of you, you've been um, juggling a wee bit with money, paying Peter and not paying Paul, and then vice versa. You've got the Two of Swords directly on top of that. So twos mean balance, duality, choices. So I certainly think there's choices coming to you with the two twos coming out together like that. The Two of Swords is about thoughts, decisions, and the Two of Pentacles basically talks about money, earthly things, material possessions. So I feel as if for some of yous that have been struggling, um, I feel as if this card is coming out to tell you that you maybe need to change the way you're thinking. You maybe need to. I know it's easy for me to say, but sometimes if we think about the lack, what we're lacking, things don't come to us the same because we're that concentrating on what we don't have. So I think this Two of Swords has came out to tell you like to change your mindset and be grateful for the things you have. And even though you're struggling, um, it's a struggle to pay your bills, it's a struggle to put food on the table. You need to try and change your thoughts to a more kind of positive attitude. Be thankful that you've got a house to sleep in, be thankful that you've got hot running water. Do you know, I know that sounds a bit silly, but sometimes just, getting your vibrations up, making it a more positive vibration in your home can bring on this change of mindset. It changes how you look at things. Um, at night before you go to bed, you could write down one thing that you're grateful for, or like maybe some of you have got children, and your big worry is, how am I going to feed the children? How am I going to buy the new clothes? How am I going to? But it's like, just be grateful that your children are healthy, that your children are happy. They don't, young children don't understand materialistic stuff. They understand love. And I think that the higher you can get your vibrations in this situation, the more loving you'll become, because we all know what it's like to struggle, and the more you're worried, fretting, struggling about bills, the worse mood you're in. Um, so I feel for some of you, just try and get into a wee bit of a more positive outlook for things to come back to you, because whatever vibrations you put out there, it's a law of attraction, that's what's coming back to you. For some of yous, some of yous, I think yous have got a decision to make. I feel for some of yous, this is about travel. I feel some of yous might have the opportunity to totally uproot your family and go away somewhere else to work. Um, and live. It's lock, stock, and barrel. It's selling up or giving up your house, and moving away. And I feel as if this might be for one person, right? But I feel as if this is the situation you're in, this cards came out because I feel as if you don't have all the facts yet. Gather more information about where you're going. Gather information about what's about the place you're going to live, schools. You need more information to make this decision. Um, I feel it is a total change of place. I don't know if it's like a different state, or whatever type of place you live in. It could be a state, it could be a country. I feel as if you're going to move over water. It's going to be quite a distant move, but I feel as if you need to get more information before you make the decision to move. And jumping down ahead here, this is the position of self, this is the position of you, and you've got the hanged man. The hanged man shows up to me um, to tell you, if you're standing that way, you're upright and you're just thinking this one way, it's like this is thoughts. But if you're upside down, it means you're suspended and you are looking at things from a different angle, because this is the way we all are all of the time. The hangman comes out to say to you, take a bit of time out, don't make any hasty decisions, look at things from all different views. I don't know if maybe your family are resisting the change here, um, of moving to this new place. I'm not sure. Someone is resisting it and it's making you doubt whether it's the right decision. And with the hangman here in the self position and the two twos, which have come out here, could be your partner. Twos can stand for duality or partnerships. It could be, your partner that's resisting the change. But for someone out there, the cards are telling me look at it from different angles. Um, it might be a job where it's got better prospects and it's got better money, but you might be moving to somewhere that's like, totally isolated. A long distance to the school, your partner's going to be stuck there with no neighbours, no friends, So for somebody, this is a major life-changing decision. Um, and I feel whoever that is needs to really take their time, and don't rush into accepting something because it's a wage rise or because it's a promotion. I think you need to take everybody's view before you make this choice here. Um, For others of you, I feel there is a life-changing event coming up, for you, and I feel as if there is a decision to be made. Again, just look at every angle. Look at the pros and cons of this decision. How it's going to change your life, what changes it's going to bring with it, before you decide. I do feel as if I look here in your past position, you've got the Eight of Cups, and I feel as if some of you will be leaving something behind, walking away. For some of you, I feel this is a good thing, because it's something, either a person or a place or a job that no longer served your purpose. Um, and this is a good move for you, moving forward. I think whatever this is to everybody, whatever decision you make here, um, I feel as if you will have the strength. I'm looking at your outcome card here. For your outcome, I know I'm jumping about a wee bit. I don't always get the messages in order. I'm so sorry if this is annoying you. But if you look to your outcome card, you've got the strength. So the strength card speaks to me of um, making a decision through love, making a decision of the heart. This is not a decision of, they say like your head or your heart makes the choice. This is a heart decision that has to be made here. And I would say that's for the biggest majority of you, whatever you're leaving behind. Some of you are leaving heavy hearted. Some of you are really sad to leave this behind. This could be, like you're leaving your family and friends to move abroad, or, you know, it's a major decision. This could be, so sorry. So the strength card, I feel as if this woman here is taming this lion with love. She hasn't been cruel to him. She isn't trying to overpower him. She's taming him with kindness and gentleness. And I feel as if, as your outcome card, the message I'm getting here is that the life-changing decision that's coming up for you has to be approached with kindness and love, and look about at everyone who's going to be involved in this decision. I feel as if you're the main decision maker, and it's kind of the final result, like, is you to say yes or no, and it's just telling me that you have to, don't be the boss in this. Don't be it's a way and no way. It's just telling me to be kind and gentle and loving and take everybody's opinion before you actually make the decision. As I say, for some of yous, you've got the Eight of Cups, and you, I feel as if you're like walking away from something and leaving something behind. It could be a relationship that no longer served your purpose. And I feel as if it is a relationship, I feel as if you still love this person, but I think you've just learned that, there's nothing to keep you. You have to move on in life, you have to leave this behind. That's the feeling I'm getting with this card here. At the base of your reading, you've got the Hierophant. The Hierophant speaks to me of traditions. He speaks to me of things that you learned as you grew, like you were kind of programmed. It's like what teachers taught you, what your parents taught you, what you believed to be true because other people told you it was true. And I feel, Pisces, there's been a lot of planetary movement going on, like since the start of this year. I'm not an astrologer, um, but I feel as if a lot of us have kind of changed our way of thinking this year. The more people I speak to, the more they're like, oh, stuff I always believed to be true, I'm starting to doubt now. And I think when the Hierophant comes in, there's a certain amount of duality with the Hierophant as well. He's a five. So fives to me represent out of balance, and I don't know if some of you are feeling a wee bit out of balance because some of the things you were taught as a child or adolescent or college, that kind of thing, some of your beliefs are being shaken a wee bit, which is totally understandable. um I mean, what's going on in the world right now would unsettle anybody, but I kind of feel that you're feeling it. um Pisces is a very psychic sign. There's a lot of empaths and psychics, and your intuition's really strong if you're a Pisces. And I feel that you are just feeling these planetary movements. It's affecting everybody in a different way. But I do feel the more people I speak to, the more people are being affected by it. Um, at the top of your reading, the present, you've got the Page of Pentacles. Pentacles is an earth sign. It's a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. The page here is kind of like a messenger. Um, I look at pages as they're bringing you messages, and I feel for some of you there could be some money coming into you, or you could be getting messages about money. This could come in the form of a letter. It could come in the form of an email. But I feel for some of you, um, this could be like if some of yous are waiting on maintenance payments, or if yous have walked away from a marriage or a partnership and you're waiting on some sort of, maintenance. I don't know what they call it in other countries, like alimony or, all that kind of thing. I feel as if you might be getting messages through about that. Um, in the formula letter. I don't think, because there's not really any other money cards, I don't think the money will come into you this month, but I think by next month that should be coming through, or you'll have a letter telling you, the plan of it to come through to you. Um, in your present, you've got the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is, again, that's another earth sign, so it's Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. This could be your moon or rising sign. She's very earthy, she's very caring, um, totally at one with nature. She is really good with money. She's the woman that never gets a red letter. She pays her bills in time. She nurtures. She tends to her flowers, and she's really earthy. Um, and I feel like, as I say, this could be one of your other signs. This could be your moon or rising sign, and this could be you taking control back of this situation. Where you are going to get your payments coming in. You made the choice to move on by yourself. This could be male or female. I don't hold gender in general readings, so this could be a dad that's moving forward or a mum that's moving forward. Um, and I feel like here you have been juggling the money and penny pinching to make things work. And I feel as if there's a comfortableness coming over you. You're going to get a wave of I don't need to worry anymore. I don't think you're going to end up mega rich or anything, but I think you're going to end up being, um, the burden's been removed for you a bit. You're going to end up being quite comfortable and not have to worry so much. Again, the hangman, we went over this a wee bit. This is your self position. And this could also speak to the Queen of Pentacles if this is you. And it's just telling you to bide your time and good things are coming to you. It might not be coming as fast as you thought it would, but things are being sorted out here if this is regarding a child and regarding um, money coming into you for a child. I definitely feel that that's on a turn forward for you. You have the World card in your environment, and I feel as if for most of you, this is a sign of things good to come. It's like to me, you've done a full circle. You've went on this cycle, and you're back to the beginning again. So this is giving you a push to move forward. And I feel as if I know they say money doesn't make you happy, right? And I understand that. But see, when the stress of not having to worry about where the next meal's coming from or how you're paying that electric bill or I don't know, tax bill, right? See, when that stress is gone, that does make for a happier home because you're then not worrying about everything, which means your kids aren't caught in it for the slightest thing. Because I personally know that if I'm stressed and worried, whoever's in the vicinity, um, if they annoy me, they're copying it, and they're copying it 10 times more than they would if I was just, going along and things were going good for me. So I think for the World card to come in this position, this is telling me that the worst is over and you're getting the chance. You've came in a full circle, and I feel for some of you, or for quite a lot of you, things are going to get better. Um, in your hopes and fears, you've got the Page of Swords. Now, the swords are air signs, and that's Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Um, Swords are all about your thoughts, and as I was saying there with the two, it's about getting a different way of thinking. Um, for some of you, I feel as if you feel as if somebody's watching you, and it's coming in as a fear. I feel as if some of you think people are gossiping about you, or they think bad of you for some reason. Um, I don't believe this is true. I believe that you're kind of taking things out of proportion. I don't think people are gossiping about you. I think when this is all sorted out, um, people will think you've had your just deserve. I don't think they're gossiping about you. I feel also for other people, um, this could be somebody coming to visit, or you're hoping for somebody to come and visit. For some of you, I feel this is a young female that you have been waiting to come back. I don't know if she's away somewhere studying or away, has she been away abroad for a year or backpacking for a year? Or again, I would say it's a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius person. But some of you are like waiting for this person to come back. You're hoping this person comes back quickly. Um, and there's a deep sadness, you're missing them. Maybe that's in your past where someone else has left and went away. Um, for some of you, this could be a child that's went away into the world to go and do something, and it's near time for them to return. So, yeah, I would say your hopes and wishes are that they would hurry up and come back to you. I feel for some of you, you are struggling with. Um, this would be for the not older, but the more mature people. I feel as if for some of you, you are struggling with your children living their lives. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I feel as if for some of you, you had a full house and it was noisy and it used to do your head in because they were always screaming and shouting and arguing and fighting. And now there's nothing. They're all away with their boyfriends or friends or girlfriends or they're away to college, they're away doing their stuff, and I feel as if your house is too quiet. I feel as if you're trying to find other things to do that fill the gap that's missing. Um, and for some of you, I feel you just have to find an interest I think it's a really hard thing. I've had 5 children myself, and I think it's a really hard thing when they start growing up and leaving. Um, and they don't even have to have moved out, but they're basically left because they're in and out that quick that you can't even remember their names half the time. Um, and it is hard to get over that, but I think the message I'm getting here is to find something that made you happy before you had a child, right? You have to search inside yourself, and maybe you liked painting and then you had children and you didn't have time for that anymore. Maybe you liked playing an instrument. Um, any interest that you used to have before you um, gave it up for family life, work life, all the things that just happen. This is time for you to grab that back and have something for yourself. Um, and then, as I say, as your outcome card, you'll get the strength card. The strength in the outcome is saying to me that you can deal with anything that's coming to you. Um, you have the inner strength. You don't even need to look for it. And I feel for a lot of these, you do deal with things like in a loving manner. So I really feel as if things are going to improve. I keep saying it, like Pisces have had a really hard time, but I feel as if things are on the up, definitely. I'm hoping that the second half of the year is better than the first half. So just pull another wee card just to finalise the reading. So we've got the Hermit, and it says, spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. So that's what I was talking about, self-discovery, something that was actually for you, that you now have the time to do. Maybe it was gardening, maybe it was an instrument, art, sewing, knitting, like I don't know, but um, you have to just take a time out and try and think back. What was it that I actually liked before, you know, the time wasn't there to do it any longer? I would also say this for people that are taking early retirement. Um, I kind of feel like for some of you, she's have left a job behind, and I feel for some, it looked like a really good idea when it first came up, and now you've taken early retirement and you're at a loss. And the message that I'm getting is, you've had interests before families, so you need to, it could be travel, you need to just have a look and think, what did I like? Who am I? Before I was the wife and the mum and the nana and all these other titles that we get dabbed to us, you know, who am I inside? What did I like and what do I like? And it's actually telling you here, spend time in quiet meditation. So some people hear the word meditation and they're like, "Oh, I don't know how to meditate." You don't actually have to meditate. It's just turn the TV off and just sit and be in that moment and think, like, what do I like to do? Because sometimes we kind of lose ourselves because we're that busy seeing to other people's needs that we actually forget who we are. Um, so a bit of self-discovery and just find out what you would like to do with, you know, your time to be enjoyable. It could be dancing. You might want to go dancing or join a club with like joining a club and other people have the same interests as you. That's a good way to meet people because you're going to meet people that enjoy the same things. That's always like good friendships, or it makes for good friendships. I'll pull you a wee romance card and see what's happening for Pisces. So you've got healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So I don't know how I feel about this. Sometimes people um, carry things like when they're young, their parents might have got divorced or they were fighting all the time, or maybe the mum was bad to the dad or the dad was bad to the mum. Maybe one was a controller. All these different things go on in families behind closed doors, right? And as we grow up, I feel that some of us think, oh goodness, I'm never having kids because, like, I don't know, maybe your mum had 6 kids and the house was a riot and it's just totally put you off. And that's where you are going to miss out on your own life experience because you could be a totally different parent to these 6 kids than your mum and dad were, and the whole experience would be totally different for you. Um, I think as well, like when there is a divorce, a lot of children end up blaming themselves, even though like that's out of our control growing up. Children have no control over what's happening in their parents' life, and I would say at the time they don't actually know all the facts that's happening in their parents' life. So I think this card comes out just to tell us that, whatever happened in your past with your family or your parents, you need to just let it go because it's something that you can't change. You can't go back in time and make it better. Um, but it doesn't really affect you moving forward because at the end of the day, um, we're all the artists in our painting, right? If you consider a painting that someone else has painted, or this picture, right? See if we look at this picture, I'm going to see a totally different story in this picture than any one of yous watching is going to see, right? But if I'm the painter of this picture, I know what's going to happen next, and you don't, because you might think you know, but then I'll paint something totally different. So as long as you're holding the paintbrush in your life, then none of this past family history or past family issues can taint your painting because you're in control of it. You're the one making the choices. You're the one painting the picture, and you're the one that knows what's coming next. So basically, this card says to me, let that go, get it rubbed out, throw that canvas away out of your life, and move forward where you're the artist and you're holding that paintbrush and you are painting the next thing in your picture. I hope this was some help to you. Um, I hope some of the messages resonated with some of you out there. If they didn't, I apologise. And again, I apologise that the videos were out a wee bit late. I had quite a lot of personal stuff going on. So um, try and get the next one out a wee bit quicker to you. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. And if any of these messages resonate with you, feel free to send me a wee comment in the comments box below. And I do try and answer all your comments. So thank you again. Bye for now. Bless.